already know, though.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Five Dish Changer Podcast. It is your lovely host, Ashley Autumn, and we are on episode number 5. We are halfway through this season, and this episode is going to be all about fatherhood. I have two amazing guests with me. I have Mac. I feel so weird saying y'all like government names because I never call y'all by y'all government names. But Malcolm Mac, is it Carthledge? Carthledge? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, you did it. There you go.
Okay. And then I have Otis '04 Carter IV with me here as well. And what we are going to do first, I'm going to let y'all introduce yourselves further. Tell me what it is that you do, or tell the people what it is that you do, what you're selling. If you're selling anything, need to promote anything, what support you want. This is your time to let the people know. So I'm going to start with you, Matt, because you are on my right.
Hey, first and foremost, thank you so much for inviting me out for episode 5. I really do appreciate that. My name's Mac. I am an entrepreneur. I'm a creative. I do instructing at Legacy Master Barber Academy on Jefferson, as well as being a dad. And if I could say anything, I have many businesses you could support, patronize, share, tell friends about, and we greatly appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. And tell us a little bit more about you and what you have going on.
Man, Otis Carter IV, affectionately known as OC or '04. Just a brother trying to help somebody. That's it, man. The 200 Man Stand is my vehicle to help people. As a nonprofit organization I co-founded with a few brothers of mine. And Ford Entertainment is an event vessel that we use to promote the kind of events that we like to see out in the atmosphere that we think our people may need. So those are my two babies. And of course, I'm here because my favorite job outside of being a husband, I guess it kind of go hand in hand, is being a father. And shout
Yeah.
out to you, Mac, too, man. I seen the Greenwood Studios. You from Mississippi, too. We didn't get a chance to talk about this, so we'll talk about that a lot. I'm from the SIP, too, brother.
Ashley,
Yeah.
good one.
You know she the truth now.
Gee, that was good.
She the truth.
I know a little something about something. I know
Huh?
a little something about
Journalism,
people
almost.
together.
That's good. That's real good.
But thank you both just for hopping on. I know y'all have things to do. Y'all are fathers, y'all are entrepreneurs, so you got to get to work. So y'all just taking the time out to have this conversation with me. I greatly appreciate it. And like all of these episodes, everything is just a matter of putting some positive conversation in the air. It's a lot of podcasts out there saying a whole lot of stuff, but I feel like, hey, instead of me complaining about it, I can talk to some real cool people I know that's doing some real positive things, and we can kind of start pushing back on things that I don't feel like are a part of the culture. And so Talented 10th is about protecting the culture and the integrity of what our ancestors built. So I feel like this is a special episode. We talked to moms last week, but in my life, I don't feel like we talk to dads a lot. We hear a lot from mothers, but we don't always get to talk to dads and hear dads' perspective. So, this is gonna be a good episode. So, but before we get into the dad stuff, let's get into some music stuff, some music stuff. So we're gonna do the first segment for those of you who are tuning in for the first time is the 5 Dish Changer segment. And before they were dads, they were people. And them people had lives and they listened to music and they might have turned up a little bit. They, you know,
Steve.
listened to some stuff and talked to some girls on the side or had some crazy stories. So that's what that is. We're going to get to know y'all musically before y'all became fathers. And so we're going to start with your first pick. your first album or single. And Otis, I'm gonna start with you. But to go along with that, what made you choose this song and what part of your story does it speak to?
Well, I'm gonna go with Ice Cube. That first, because I'm gonna start from the beginning. I was 10 years old, and the first album I ever purchased with my own money by myself was Ice Cube Predator. And Today Was a Good Day is probably the best song on the album, one of the best songs of our generation. And that just spoke by it's to this day, it still rings true. So Today Was a Good Day was the first song, and Ice Cube was probably the first artist that I embraced, you know, far as like that's me, like the identity, even me being an activist and involving myself in activism now, I didn't know the correlation of how it would influence me back then, but seeing his growth and my growth has been kind of parallel. Entrepreneurship, activism, entertainment, how it goes hand in hand. So I say Today Was a Good Day by Ice Cube.
Classic.
Okay. That is a classic. I love that music video because I love the
Oh yeah.
way it tells the story. Like it the song is such a visual song. Like even if you just kind of close your eyes, you can kind of visualize a good day, even if you're not from
Yeah.
LA. But then when you add that music video with it, it's just like, okay, it takes you to LA. It makes you feel like
Yeah.
you understand LA.
Yeah.
Mac, same question for you. Your first pick, single or album. What made you choose this song? What part of your story does it speak to?
50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. And
Okay.
that was the first album I bought as a kid.
Mm.
And the first album I can honestly say, besides was Candy was no Window Shopper. Window Shopper was on there.
It was on the
Mhm.
next one. I think what Wonder Shot was on the Massacre.
Whatever.
Wankster
Wankster,
birthday,
21
Ghost Shorty.
Questions.
Yeah.
You listen
Yeah.
to it from cover to cover. But what
Yeah.
the album did overall, like in the age in which I got it, oh, that's when it started. Like that's when you started wearing your what they call wife beaters now
Yeah.
Mhm.
outside and like doing your push-ups, your sit-ups, and the in the club video,
Yeah.
come on, like you
Yeah.
as a kid, you kind of like you always look at certain people growing up. Like if you watch wrestling or you watched anything, like as a kid, if you played sports or whatever, and you see, like God damn, 50 Cent kind of cut up.
Yeah.
What I got to do to get cut up? He started the video off doing what should the hanging upside down, doing that shit.
Yeah.
So what I do? I go in the closet. I got a rack. There's the pole right there in the closet. Take all the clothes off. I'm finna try to see if I can do that shit too. And yeah, you get your ass whooped. You get told to sit down because you done, tore the closet down, trying to be 50 Cent, trying to really embody that confidence. I think he gave, if you caught the album as a child, he gave you a certain swag and a certain confidence that, you just felt like you was it. Especially I wasn't even getting money back then, but I felt like, if I did, that's what I would listen to. And there's some slappers on there, like Get Rich or Die Trying, the whole catalog.
So Get Rich or Die Trying came out my freshman year of college. So that was like '03.
Yeah.
And so that was the mid '03 was a good year for music because there was a year of Speaker Box, Love Below, Confessions.
In third grade. We're not gonna say
uh I was gonna say don't make me feel old. But yeah, so Get Rich or Die Trying was definitely one of the soundtracks of my freshman year of college. So it always made me think of that. So we're gonna get into pick number two. And Mac, I'm gonna start with you this time. And the question that goes with this is who introduced you to this track and what did it represent for you at the time?
I would say Go Like Me by J Dollar on the track. and that's my cousin. He
Okay.
raps. He's a very, very, very talented rapper. I actually use his music in just about every project, or some interpolation, some form of his music is in every project I've ever done. And he introduced me to the music that he was working on through just chilling. You know how cousins do when we link up, and he cut my hair. Like he is my barber. He taught me how to cut hair. He's been cutting hair way, way, way longer than me. And yeah, spending that time with him and hearing his music, if I could share the track with you all right now, I would, because you'd see exactly what I'm talking about. But finding it, just when I heard it in the place that I was in at that time, it kind of gave me a sense of, like, that's when the creativity started to really come out, because his music was very visual as far as, like, lyrics are concerned. So I really appreciated it.
Okay. Jay Dollar on the track. I think
Yeah,
I follow him on Instagram.
I would hope so. The boy's talented. That boy good.
Boy, good.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna switch over here to you, O. What is your next pick and who introduced you to it and what did it represent for you at the time?
Man, I'm gonna say T.I.'s "Do It, Baby, Stick It, Baby." It was 2001. I was at Alcorn State University, and nobody knew the guy T.I. for real, for real. Like, he wasn't a star yet. That was before the trap music album came out. And I really liked the song, really liked the album, but I was introduced to the album by that song. And I went to Jackson, Mississippi. It was about an hour away from Alcorn. And if half of my graduating class went to Alcorn and a few of my brothers went to Jackson State. So it was about an hour away. I go up there to hang with them, and they playing that new T.I., and I don't know who he is, but that was my first time really getting out of my area. Like, I'm from Nashville, from Mississippi, but really hadn't got out of different cities and hung out and really explored. And I just remember riding around Jackson, Mississippi, listening to that T.I. album on repeat and listening to that song particularly probably about 20 times, on the night out. And it just really just gave me that, like, I'm grown. The song was fun. I'm grown. I got my own money. I'm 18, 19 years old,
It's
and I'm
outside.
exploring. Yeah, I'm outside. That's exactly. Thank you. I was outside.
It's
I'm
outside.
kind of old, Max. So thank you for helping me out with my terminology, man.
No, brother, I not to
I
cut you
would
off, but brother,
no
I get hip to new stuff every day.
look,
You fans, I love them.
look. I was outside to that "Do It, Baby, Stick It, Baby."
Yeah,
Listen, that Ti, man, and just in what he turned into too. Like, to know I was on it early and knew I caught the wave early, and to see what he transformed into over the next 3 or 4 years, it made it that much better. Reflecting on the song.
yeah. Ti was
I
up.
got put on it too by one of my good friends, Ernest Marshall, and rest in peace, Alonzo out of Jackson, Alonzo Fairley. Uh, just they would, they let me get outside in Jackson, man. I'll never forget them for that.
So it's funny that you talk about T.I. because T.I. is another trap music, another soundtrack to my freshman year of college. And I mentioned it on the last episode. A girl named Kawana, biggest T.I. fan that I know, she had the album. And "Do It Baby, Stick It Baby" was one of our favorite songs that we
Hmm.
listened to. And of course, they played it in the club. So every time it came on, everybody
Yeah,
got on the dance floor. Like, I don't even know
yeah,
if they could appreciate "Do It Baby, Stick It Baby" in 2025 because they don't even dance with each
I
other.
never,
So
right. Come on,
I've never even heard it. I gotta add it to my playlist now.
you got
yeah,
to.
it's a classic. It's
Yeah.
gonna change your life. It's gonna do life changing things for you.
Good.
Um, so the next track, we're gonna start with you this time, Mac. And the question that goes with that is, what version of yourself is most connected with this song? What were you chasing, running from, or learning?
Ooh, shit. Uh, does it have to be a song? Could it be an album?
Yeah, it could be album.
The superheroes and villains album. I put that out on my birthday. I did a whole photo shoot behind it. The Metro Boomin superhero and villains with all the different songs on there. Finding out about that album and where it came from for Metro Boomin, I found it to be the closest thing to expressing how I felt in that moment. You know, despite what the music itself was really saying, the whole overall body of work was just portraying how you can be two different things, and you know, in the same breath you have to coincide, and you know, sometimes you got to choose which side you want to be on. And that's probably the only reason why I resonated to it. And I stumbled across it randomly during a workout, and went to the album, heard one song from it, started going through it. I'm like, like there's a lot of slappers on this album. And I like one particular verse where Takeoff, on one song, Feel the Fire, Takeoff is rapping that alphabet. Like, if I could share it and just have y'all hear it, like, I was like, wow, Takeoff was very talented. Like, lyrically, Takeoff was blessed, bro. Blessed. Like, you can tell his influence in music now, because his pattern, his cadence, and things like that, you can see it. And there's a lot of people that have came out and admitted that, you know, Takeoff helped him get to where they at as far as lyrics are concerned, because brother was talented. So yeah, I'd have to say that one.
Okay. I'm not like a crazy Migos fan. One, the old lady in me is like, I don't really know what y'all like. I know what they saying, but I don't know what they saying. I need T.I. and them do it, baby, stick it, baby, where I understand the words. Like when they were on the Joe Budden interview, I understood what they said. Joe Budden did.
Right.
So it's like
Right.
I can understand it better, and maybe just because we from the South, like if you talking, I can understand it. But the moment they start doing that over a beat, I just be like, I don't know I don't know what's going on anymore. But my one Migos story that I do have, they came to Vanderbilt back in 2015. It was right when Bad and Bougie started to take off. And SZA opened for them. And so I was like a day one SZA fan when she was dropping like the EP mixtape SZA. And so I was like, I'm gonna go see SZA. But at the same time, I'm like, I paid for this ticket. I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna watch the Migos. First of all, it was a terrible show. You could tell that they were super high and drunk because Takeoff was like in the deepest, darkest corner at the back of the stage, and we left in the middle of their set. And so, but that's like my association with the Migos is going to that show and being like, this is one of the worst shows I have ever been in my life.
I know exactly.
I got a Migos story too. I got to give it to you too real fast, man. This is right after that Hannah Montana came out. And that boy R. Kelly put a song out. Put the album out, the Black Panties. The Black, whatever that album was. Black Panties, okay. And I'm in the barbershop at that time, and all my OGs and that, we excited to listen to Kales, the latest Kales drop. And we listening, we're like, why the hell he put these Hannah Montana boys on this album? Like, how did they even earn a spot for you to be a legend, like a top tier first round Hall of Fame legend, a GOAT status performer, artist, or songwriter, and you put these Hannah Montana boys on that? You know what I mean? That's to me. That's just the old head speaking to me. But it also is a testament to the star power of, you know what I mean, or how greats can see past the moment and see what a trajectory was. And you look up in 5-6 years after that, you're like, okay, they were equally yoked far as hip hop being the most dominant group in the game. And R. Kelly at the time, before he was, disgraced like he is now, he was on the level that he was. And it kind of made sense when you look past the moment. But that was my moment, like just being a grumpy old man. Like, how the hell they get this slot? Man, you got Trey Songz, man, you got T.I., you got all these rap sci-hi and all these people at the time that were probably more deserving for its current, but seeing past the moment, R. Kelly was a genius again, and it was a testament to their skills. Because I listening to them, they remind me of like a Atlanta 360 triplet flows and everything. Quavo being the star, and Takeoff being the most talented guy, Quavo being the star, and Offset kind of being Offset. It was to see what they doing now and see how everybody, grew. It was amazing. Thinking that was my first impression, like Ashley wasn't a good one.
Yeah.
I not to cut y'all off. I feel the same way about them. I've had the same scenario riding in cars, hearing people say they the best group ever, and you looking back like the fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened in 2016, all the way into like Takeoff's demise. Boy, them boys was cooking.
They was undeniable, yeah. Hit for hit.
I think they had some undeniable production as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know who started picking their beats in that, like you said, I'm gonna say after that Bad and Bougie and they got Bad and Bougie Money. I don't know who was picking. Even their early
Right.
stuff still slapped, but it was something about the production quality that it was like
Yeah.
they took. It was like trap with class. Like the production level went up, the way it was mixed and mastered just went up.
It's
It was a very next level version of who they were. And yeah, I think sometimes, I know for me, I had to get out of my own way when it
right.
comes to like younger people sometimes, where it's just like, this don't make sense. And then I had to kind of remind myself of where I was at 22. And it's like, you know what? Let me shut on up.
Yeah.
Because growth. Thank God for growth.
And
But let's get into your pick. And the question for this one was, what version of yourself is most connected to this song? What were you chasing, running from, or learning?
Man, I'm gonna have to go with a project, like Max said. I'm gonna go with the college dropout Kanye.
mm,
And to me, it was just a dope body of work. I'm coming from the deep south, the dirty south, of a town called Moss Point, Mississippi, inner city, Nashville, Tennessee. So I'm not with any backpack rap. I'm not really at that time any conscious rap, except like maybe a little bit of that Cube I was talking about earlier in the day. Even he turned more gangster rapper, still was still doing gangster rap. So at that point, I don't know anything about backpack rap. Not don't know the artist, but I'm not listening to it at all. So for him to resonate with me at the time he did, when I was doing a lot of wrong, I had dropped out of college myself. I was figuring it out, looking at the skits about putting your degree, you go die, hang your degree on the wall and feed your family with your degree and not making money. That was kind of my way of coping with not graduating and not finish college. And you know what I mean? It was a weird time in my life. I was finding myself, but to even have the Gil Scott Heron excerpts, and you know, and to see he was a political activist, and just to see my way my life shaped out for it to be one of my favorite albums, then it kind of makes sense now. So I was in that weird place to where I was in between college, in between careers. I had went to bar. I was a year from going to barber school. I was a year and a half from dropping out of college. He come out with this album. I'm trapping. I'm doing all kind of the wrong thing, but listening to him, cope with him dropping out, and not saying making excuses, but really they were excuses, and how it all shaped out, man. Him becoming a one of the best to ever do it, and seeing my journey. And to this day, I still play the song. My son knows the album. I shared it with him early on in his life. It was just a dynamic album, man. There's a lot of gems in there too.
oh yeah, definitely.
College dropout, that might have been my sophomore year, probably right before, I call it my gap year, but I dropped out. Kids these days done fancied it up. When you drop out and then
Yeah.
go back, it's a gap year. I took a gap 2, 3, 4 years before I went back. But there was some backpack rap that I was into, but being from Chattanooga, kind of like you, it's like you get the dirty South. So, Chattanooga being so close to Atlanta, You get a lot of the Atlanta, of course. You get your Memphis and stuff like that. But I remember, I don't know, Kanye just, he reminded me of, he was one of us. Like, he was the guy that could have easily been on your campus or whatever. And I think
Yep.
that's what just like resonated with his music for me. It was just like, even though he's from Chicago, he would have been the guy from Chicago that went to school in the South if you just placed him on, my campus or just any other campus in the South.
Definitely.
That
So,
makes sense too. Now you say that, I didn't even put that together. Why I probably gravitated. So I went to Alcorn. We had a lot of people from Chicago at Alcorn, and my best friend, Sherman, his wife is actually from Chicago, and she was our good friend at the time before they got married. They were dating, and she put me on like Slum Village and
mhm.
Common and a few, and they stuck, and I respected it. But you couldn't take me off Lil Boosie. You couldn't take Ti out my changer. You couldn't take Wayne out my change at that time. So for Kanye to kind of stick, I remember she had the underground tape too of some old Kanye when he was a producer, and played all the beat like that's the dude that's rapping now. And this is the album he came out with. Man, this is crazy. And it just stuck with me.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's,
That makes
I
sense
mean,
though. You said that though. He was
yeah,
the guy from Chicago that'll go to TSU, Alcorn, Jackson State,
yeah,
Morris Brown,
yeah.
with the backpack, the
A,
back, the stuff
the
button all the
polo,
way.
yeah, a
Yeah,
little
yeah, that,
corny that you be
yeah,
like, but he cool enough. He make good
yeah,
music, so people rock with him. He date the Delta. Like, his
yeah,
storyline was just the storyline that it was easy to see him and put him as somebody, where it's like Jay-Z and them, like, they were getting money, and it's like
yeah,
Ferrari or Jaguar switching 4 lanes, don't know nothing about it, like, don't have it. But Kanye came out and he was just relevant to who we were at the time. And it kind of sucks to see where he is now.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, college dropout definitely is just cemented in time for me as well. So we're gonna get into the fourth pick. And the question for this one is, what does this song say about the kind of man you were before fatherhood, good, bad, or in between? And I'm gonna start with you. Oh,
Oh man, I'm gonna go Big Dog by Lil Boosie. Cause that's all I wanted to be was a big dog. You ain't a big dog, you ain't a big dog. You know what I mean? Like it was, however I had to become a big dog, I was willing to do it at that time. And to see all the stupid shit I did, Ashley and Mac, man, as you say, like you play GTA and you trying to gain points and gain respect and you gaining, you know what I mean, notoriety from doing the wrong thing. You didn't realize at that time, I didn't realize you would become a big dog from doing the right thing.
Definitely.
And that kind of stuck with me. And his song wasn't about doing the wrong thing. It was really just about being a big dog, taking care of your folks, me shining, having your bag together and stuff. But to me, I I chose to try to be a big dog by doing the wrong thing.
Mm.
And that kind of, and I still play the song. I love it still to this day. But now I can bop to it and I can be, I became a big dog doing the right thing. And I want the young, telling my son that, telling people, the young brothers around me that, like, man, you don't have to get your respect from doing stupid shit. You can get your respect and get, what I mean, and become who you are, walk your journey. And it could be a journey of positivity and radiating life instead of death, freedom instead of incarceration.
Nah, that's real, bro.
yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. You put a spin on Big Dog.
Yeah, nah,
So
that's real. I listened to that this morning. So
Oh man.
yeah. I
so
say it for me, it speaks to who I was before. I gotta do an album again. I can't do just one song. Dom Kennedy's Yellow album.
Ooh. Well, you got good taste, boy. You got good taste in
That's all
music,
I'm
boy.
gonna say. I don't even want to go no further. Dom Kennedy, Yellow Album, the whole album. That's what I was.
Can I tell y'all a quick Dom Kennedy story as the real fast? I'm
Just
sorry to
Yeah.
interject, man. Listen, I had listened to Kennedy maybe a couple times, but this might have been like 2018, 2019. And I was hip to him. I knew he was a West Coast big dog. I knew he was submitting himself in the game. But it was I was downtown at I forgot the name of the spot. It was across from Cannery Ballroom at the time. Man, French Montana was in town. And I pulled up on my guys to see French Montana, and it was empty. And I'm like, dog, French Montana empty? And I'm looking one of my homeboys like, man, come over here next door, man. My homegirl in here, man. Let's just walk over here and see what they got going on. They got a concert. I don't know who concert it is. I could barely fit in the door of the concert, bro. I'm talking about like I'm weaving myself in. You know, how you gotta turn sideways to get to the crowd. We finally lock in with my partner, homegirl, and we look up. It's a Dom Kennedy concert in Nashville, Tennessee, 2018, 2017, 18, 19, one of those years. And that man had a 600 man venue sold out to capacity.
was like that.
And I don't know one song of them, just know of them. So that's my Dom Kennedy memory. And ever since then, it made me go back and listen to him, and I've been a fan of him ever since.
My whole adolescence up to like being able to drive and have money, like when you paying for your phone bill,
Yeah.
gas and car insurance, etc., etc. I wore that Yellow Album out. I went to every time Dom Kennedy came to Dallas, I went. It got to a point where I was able to go backstage and smoke joints with him.
Yeah.
Like Dom Kennedy's Yellow Album. Yep. That's me before I had Mason.
Yeah.
Through and through.
Okay. So we're gonna get into number 5. And the question that goes with this one is, would this song still hit the same today, or would you hear it differently now that you're a dad? And Mac, you're already on the screen, so we're gonna start with you. So and it could be an album, song or album. Would it still hit today, or do you hear it differently now that you're a dad?
Oh, that's the Universal song. The crying. I guess so.
Oh, next.
Everybody, like when you as a kid hearing that, man, it's talking about, becoming a wreck while dancing.
Yeah.
It doesn't like
next, Too Close.
Too Close.
Yeah.
The song Too Close. I get older and realize what they talking about, like as you jamming and like you listening to it. And I'm like, that's the whole song is like that. And apparently it's plenty of songs like that. Like you be young, you hear them, you ain't thinking much about it. You just sing it. Get older, find out the lyrics and what they really mean. There's a lot of songs I'm hearing from back in the day that I'm just today years old. Like that's what they was talking about the whole time. And I'm not the only one that was caught off guard by that Too Close song either. Like,
yeah. So
Nah.
here's my Too Close tale.
Yeah.
So my family is huge in karaoke, like love karaoke. So we always do karaoke. So me and my god sister, we decide, and this was before like digital karaoke. So my mama would go and buy all of these karaoke CDs. So she bought this new karaoke CD, and Next Too Close was one of the songs that was on there. So we was like, oh snap, we gonna do Next Too Close. So we cut it on. Of course, the intro come and we start out singing with it, and we were like, baby, when you're grinding, I get so excited. And then it's like, the more the song went on, we got slower and slower because we could see the lyrics on the screen, and we was in there with my mama. And so we ended up like cutting it off real fast. So I didn't know what they were saying either. And that was like, might have been like 2001. And we was doing karaoke with my mama, and we started singing Next Too Close. And then it was like, oh, wait a minute.
I thought they were just talking about dancing. Nope.
Yeah.
Not at all.
We're gonna move over to you. Your fifth pick, and does the song still hit for you today, or do you listen to it differently now that you are a father?
Man, I'm trying to think of the artist. Was it Aaliyah? Age ain't nothing but a number.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible. That age terribly. I must say that age terribly ass and Mac, man.
Like a
So I
banana.
can't like a banana, man. So that song there, like it's anything when you talking about age and disparity of age and all those songs, it was an era of the 90s to where it wasn't that shunned upon like it is now, like it's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to, like rightfully
Yeah.
so, it should be. But
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
any of those songs, especially the age ain't nothing but a number, it's like, nah, I'm straight on that. I probably ain't listened to it in at least 5 to 10 years at least. And if I did, it was by accident.
skip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like even her being a young lady, even singing about it, you could tell she didn't write it. So
Oh
even
yeah.
the predatory or the grooming that took place behind the scenes to have her writing those kind of songs and singing those kind of songs was weird as hell. So yeah, anything like that with those age gaps and stuff. Even anything Brian McKnight too, I got to say it too, man. Anything Brian McKnight, all that damn singing about love and family, and to see the kind of piece of shit he is right now, and like
Oh,
I can listen to drill music and the rappers talking about killing and shit more than I can listen to Brian McKnight because I know they talking out of ignorance and out of circumstance. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
understand that growing up in poverty and not having fathers present go lead you to certain activities, go lead you to not learn certain things, but having an educated brother, a brother that's, been traveled and have the kind of reach he have and the kind of stuff to see him the way he treat his family, man, that's wow. Like so
Yeah.
anything Brian McKnight, I can't even listen to it. I don't care what the song is. If Brian McKnight come on, it came on the day I skipped it.
mm,
Yeah, Brian McKnight hurt my heart because he was one of my favorite. Like he just writes such beautiful music, and I'm with you. Like I'm a big energy person. So the moment that it's like, it's either something about you or you expose yourself, I just can't do it. And going back to Age Ain't Nothing but a Number, the song that is a crazy song, but it's another song that's crazy to me, and that's Key Sweat, Right in the Wrong Way to Love Somebody, when he start off
Mm,
with
mm,
"You may be young, but you're ready." Sir,
mm,
yeah,
what are you talking about? Like, y'all sound
mm.
crazy,
crazy.
Almost forgot about that.
insane. And it's like, and I was gonna say, and they put it on radio, but them people, as we can tell with the Epstein stuff,
Yeah.
it's all connected. So
Oh,
they were just
And
mm,
we don't
with it.
own no radio stations. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And we don't. And so it's so crazy, like you said, that a lot of that stuff was just in our face the way it was, and it was just normalized for a very, very long time. But I'm glad you brought all of that up because that helps us segue into our next segment, cultural conversation. And we talking about fatherhood in real life. In this section, I'm not necessarily gonna call on one of y'all, so y'all just kind of jump in, chime in where you see fit, where you want to answer, and y'all can piggyback off each other. But how has becoming a dad changed the way you listen to music or the kind of music you need?
mm,
I jump in there, man, because I don't know how old your child is, but my son is 13 and
mm,
he's a band guy. He's a musician like myself and my dad. So we listen to a lot of music together. So the way I listen to music, even him being 13, having his own Apple Music, we have parental controls. So I start there. So even just the all of the profanity, the senseless profanity, and some of the senseless language and the sexual over the sexualization of some of these lyrics and stuff, we cut that out. You know what I mean? I want him to be a child for as long as he can. So a lot of things I do, I slowly expose him to him, but he gets a lot of conversation with the music. So I don't really change what I listen to because I'm an adult and I can compartmentalize the music, but I want to make sure he's not listening to it at the same age I was, So where that prefrontal cortex is not developed, and he's taking all this stuff literally, and you know what I mean, listening to it, and it's like we listened to it, it was law. Some of that music we were listening to at 19, 20, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 20. It was law to us. They said it, then we said it. They did it, we did it. When Jay-Z said, take off your jerseys, like, bro, I'm a sports fan. Man, all of us took off our jerseys. We were 20, 21 years old. You know, I'm paying rent at my apartment in college, and I'm listening to what Jay-Z said about not wearing throwback jerseys. You know, so I want to make sure he's not influenced by that. So we put the parental controls on his music, and when I'm in front of him, we listen to more than just hip hop and R&B. I'm a jazz aficionado. I listen to classical music all the time, often. So he listens to it often. Not only do he because he performs it. So if you perform it, son, you got to listen to it. You perform, you're in a jazz band, you got to listen to jazz. So now he just literally, as we got out the car, I was running late for our sound check and setup. We was getting out the car, and he was showing me his playlist of his last listened to songs, like his most listened to songs, and it was uh Funkadelics, it was Tupac, it was, you know what I mean? It was like, damn, bro, you made me proud, son. Like you really, and like that's the stuff he listened to is on his own when he's taking a shower, when he's getting ready for school in the morning. It's like it's whatever I'm doing, it must be working. And just having, we just making sure you don't fall into the trap. Because we know we're not the only influence in our kids' life. I'm his dad, probably his biggest influence, but I'm not his only influence. So I can't make believe, I can't act like the music is not gonna affect him at some point. So it just makes me be very conscious of the lyrics. He know I don't listen to drill music, so guess what? He don't like drill music. He don't like people talking about killing. I tell him, like, son, we really want to listen to a black man talking about killing another black man, and you a black man, and your son gonna be a black man, and so he thinks about that at his age now for the last couple of years. And when it's something that comes on, it's we like, even when we loosen it up sometime, and it's just me and him, and we loose and we forget the parental controls on and whatever, we headed somewhere. He'll be the one to call my attention to it sometime. Hey, Dad, hey, hey, can you skip that? Oh yeah, you're right, but let's get the hell up out of this one. Let's go on to something else. So he polices me. So whatever I did actually to police him at the beginning, he's 13 years old and he's policing me now.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's real dope.
So
for me, or you want me to?
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, well, brother, first of all, thank you for that little bit of advice, because my child's only 6. He just turned 6. And with being a business owner, I've always maintained 2 separate controls with, the music that you play in the shop and things like that. So I've always had parental controls there. And when we on the way to school, we listen to, the Pandora station that's got the parental controls on it. But as soon as he's out the car, I'm over to Apple Music, slapping out to whatever, however. But I'll kid you not, his jam right now, I got a video of him hitting the have y'all seen that Kodak Black meme where he's sweating, dancing on Casanine Stream?
Oh yeah.
So his basic jam right now is that Justin Bieber Yukon mashup. Any that Yukon song, like if you mash it up to Nice and Slow, or you mash it up to Up, or like they've been just taking that song. It's by Justin Bieber. But that man, Mason love that damn song. And seeing his reaction to a song that he liked, that even I'm like, man, this fucking slap. Like lately, matchups have been slapping. Like I don't know what has gotten into some of these DJs, but they've been putting together 2 songs that I was like, who thought of that? And even I'm getting the same reaction that he'll get sometimes. Like we'll both hear something for the first time sitting here because he knows that he'll look all on my phone and it'll play out loud. And I'm like, it's riding, ain't it, son?
Yeah.
That's my song. I'm picking him up today from school. He want to hear a song that I was editing a video to. that I can't, you know, I don't let him hear out loud. You know, he can only hear the instrument. He heard the instrumental version. So I'm starting to pick up on the likes of like certain sounds. Like he has his own sounds that he likes. He has his own Pandora stations that he likes. But watching him dabble into hip hop and jazz and all the other stuff that he'll find me listening to, because music is such a big part of what I do as far as like creativity is concerned. And I sit over sometimes listening to music just to find music for projects. I'm learning how to take vocals out of songs and, you know, manipulate the sound a little bit for sound design. And watching him sit next to me and hear these different songs playing and seeing his reaction, I'm like, oh, we're reaching that point now where I gotta like make sure he's listening to the things that I want him listening to. And I just appreciate him still being a kid above all. Like he, you know, he wants to hear T-Rex radio on the way to school. And I don't rob him with that. You know what I'm saying? I dress him like a kid. We listen to kid music, you know, and I hope he stays that way for as long as possible, because where you put it, it seems like time is about to fly.
Man, look, you doing the right thing, brother. I wanna affirm you in what you're doing as a young father of, I mean, as a not a young father, but the father of a 6-year-old man. You're doing the right thing, man. Keep him innocent. Let him do him. Let him be a kid. That's the best thing. That's the best thing. And you manage it. I mean, you doing what you're supposed to do, bro.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate
I'm
that.
encouraged for our future.
Yes, sir.
We
Thank you, man.
Whitney Houston said the children are the future, so
Yes.
we gonna go with TT Nippy, and we gonna speak life into the
yes,
children. We
Amen.
need to, because when we 95, they gonna be the ones that's our doctors.
Better do right by these YNs.
right.
So I want to kind of get into, you know, as you guys are fathers, we all grew up, we millennials, so we had baby boomer fathers or either on that cusp. So I don't know about y'all daddies, but I know about mine. He is old school. So feelings, what are we talking about feelings for? Type of, you know,
Mm.
all of that. So is there anything that you felt like you had to unlearn that, you know, even though you love your father and he did the best that he could with the tools that he had, was there anything going in the fatherhood that you kind of had to unlearn as a generational curse as you went into fatherhood?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked me that. Why do you think I made that project? Did you watch it?
You talking about, yeah, the Sidney Poitier
That took
clip?
me 8 minutes to shoot and then 8 minutes to put together. And I did it solely for I didn't, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know if
Mhm.
that's a question you put in the instructions. Didn't bother reading that. Um but
Nobody does, but I just like to feel like a
I feel
professional.
it's so professional. You're
I
so
did.
Okay.
I didn't read none of that. I'm not reading this. I see the link. I'm going. All right. But no, I made that project. That's how I know, organically speaking, I made that project because if you were gonna give me an opportunity to talk about it, I was gonna take it. And finding that little bit that I did from that movie, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, which is, you know, an old movie. The most recent
Yeah.
remake of it was with Bernie Mac and Ashton Kutcher. That whole little dialogue and that back and forth between Sidney Poitier's character and his dad about what a son telling his father how he feels, honestly, you take a little bit from that. You take a little bit from that as a man, and you realize that how you were brought about and the choices that you made, whether your father was around to influence them or not, um, we don't want to operate giving credit or giving that power to our fathers, in a sense. Like there's, I think a large part of being a man now is one, forgiving your father or parents for what they didn't know, because I'm pretty sure if you're still here, they, hopefully did the best that they could do with what they had to get you where you needed to be. And so not holding any resentment against the people that brought you here for what they didn't know and how they treated you or how you grew up to be. And then if you're blessed enough to have that conversation, which I was in my adulthood recently with your father, about how his actions and words may have impacted your whole way of living. And I'm not ashamed to admit those were my form of daddy issues, is that I didn't really get too many "I'm proud of you" sons from my father, or the ones that I would have liked to have gotten, I didn't receive. And so it put me in a headspace of feeling like there's always something left to prove. And when you operate in that headspace, it can be both good and bad, and too much of it, you're giving credit where it's not necessarily due. Because there became a point in time where it didn't matter what my father did or said or didn't say or do. I still had choices to make. And being a dad and starting a family and going about it the way that I went about it, those are all choices I made. My dad didn't make those choices. And so my dad's never disrespected me or how I took care of my family, without getting too far off into my business. But he's never made me feel like I wasn't a man that was about taking care of his family. And if anything, I had to unlearn that I don't owe him anything, and it took forever to learn that damn lesson. Like, to finally unpack that lesson and realize you don't owe your father nothing. You don't owe anybody anything. The only person that I technically owe is the one that I put here that didn't ask to be here, and that's my son. And I'm just choosing to operate in that headspace. So if I'd say, to answer your question in a nutshell, that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned as a man being a dad. So, your dad don't owe you nothing.
All right.
That's a good one.
Yeah, if you get a chance to check out the project, I didn't see her asking that question, but I was like, I didn't know what I was gonna talk about on here. And so I was like, I had to find something to talk about. I was like, I don't want to get on here and have nothing of substance to say that I even resonate with. And that was one thing I could resonate with when it came to fatherhood.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. I feel like you already got it.
No, I was gonna say, my dad was a really good dad growing up. But if I had to just nitpick his parenting, I would say, being too hard for certain things that I don't feel like he should have been that hard about. But he told me he loved me, not a whole lot, but he showed me he loved me. He loved me by loving me. You know what I mean? So
Pick the good
I could,
word too.
So I would think him, he could have said I love you a little bit more, because I tell my son every single day, 2 or 3, 4 times, 5 times a day, that I love him, like all during the day, all the time, with no shame. I kiss on him at 13. He hated to. I'm all on his forehead, on his head, all of that stuff, just loving on him. And my dad loved on me too, the same kind of way, hugs and handshakes and daps and everything. But he probably could have said it a few more times growing up, just on some affirmation, but it was really just being hard. My dad a hard ass. He a band director. He was my band director. He was my friend's band director, so we couldn't escape it, So it wasn't just a dad all the time. He was my dad and the band director. And I remember, he'll tell you, one of our principals, rest in peace, Mr. Willis C., he was getting on me. He was on my ass too, tough on me, tough. And Willis C. pulled him to the side. He was a superintendent. My dad, a band director, this is a superintendent. Putting them to the side and was like, "Hey man, why you that hard on him? Like he ain't doing no more than what the other kids doing, and you ain't that hard on them." But he was like, "That's my son." He was like, "Well, he's not your son right now. He's a student." So having my dad maybe scale back a little bit on being, but that also made me tough. But that's also one of my things. Do I fight with myself with, am I being too tough on my son? Am I being tough enough or am I being too tough? It's like a fine line, and I always think about that line because of my dad. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He makes me conscious of that line. So I don't know if it's good or bad, but I'm always thinking about, damn, should I say that? Man, I should have said more. I said too
Right.
much.
Though.
I fussed too long. That was a 10-minute speech. It should have been 2 minutes. So
Yeah.
I'm always conscious about it because of me and my dad's relationship of him being on my ass so much growing up. But
Right.
he wasn't strict though. So he'll be on my ass and I can still go to the party, still hang out late, still do what I want to do. But I gotta listen to him now. He gonna fuss me out and he gonna be on me. But I can still have my freedom and stuff too. So
Oh yeah.
that's if
For the not to cut you off, for the record now, I wanted to be known. My dad lit. My dad was super lit. I give my dad so much credit. Like he was very hard on me too. Very, very hard. But I appreciate him so much more now that I'm an adult. Like, and I meant to tell you, like, you picked the best word, nitpick. That's all we doing at this,
yeah.
because we were fortunate.
Yeah, we were fortunate. We were
Like,
fortunate.
you don't realize the difference until you actually. I didn't know the difference in men until I actually started dating. Like, oh, I was I was one of the lucky ones that
Yeah,
had his dad in his life. Like, regardless of how stern, how many times you might have got your ass whooped, whatever, however they went about it, if you lived through it, you were one of the lucky ones.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I swear I appreciate him so much for being that hard on me because I get it. You know what I mean? And the word you chose with nitpicking, um, that's a good way to go about it, because our fathers did something that a lot of fathers of their generation just didn't have the courage to do. And that's, I always say our dads are the only men on this earth that truly want to see you do better than them. It ain't too many other
Yeah.
men that you gonna
Yeah,
shoulders with that, like, yeah,
man.
I'm cool with you doing better than being more successful, more handsome. I'm cool with you making more money than me.
Yeah, I
I'm
tell
cool.
my son that all the time, man.
Your
I said,
daddy's the
listen,
only
I said, I
one.
want you to be smarter than me. I want your wife to look better than your mama. I want her to
That
be smarter
man,
than your mama. I want you to have
that's
more money than me. I
oh
said, I'm
yeah,
gonna be the only person, and your granddaddy is the only person that you gonna feel like that about you. So
man.
when I tell you something, know it's from coming from the best place. And I think we have a strong enough relationship to where he understands that now. But you say that's it there.
I
That's that
promise.
one.
I
That's that
promise.
one, bro. That's that
And it's
one.
not, and I will challenge anybody. I was like, I put that on everything I love. There's not you. We cool. We
Yeah.
cool, but you're not about to sit back and be like, oh yeah, man, go ahead, make more money than me. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, be way more wealthier than me. I would love that for you. You're not gonna say that. You'll never say that.
Yeah.
And you'll never
I might
move.
be cool, and it might be cool if it happens that way. We might be cool, like, okay, we see all these ads. Yeah, man,
You
good
gonna
for
clap
him.
for a nigga, right?
But we're not putting each other in a position to do it. That's probably the better language for it. Because
Definitely.
I will be happy for a brother if he's more successful in the field than me, because unless because we don't have to directly compete for him to be more successful. He could be
Right.
do my job. He could be a barber in the studio on in LA, right?
Yeah, but
And
you're
he
not
could be
gonna
big.
help you. What
Yeah,
can I do for you to make you more
right,
successful than me?
right.
Whatever it is, I'll do it for you. Ain't
But your
no,
dad, he
yeah,
gonna help you
I swear.
be better than him. So yeah,
And
that's a great one, man. I'm glad you said that too. And I wish most sons, when they take advice from their dad, would look at it through that lens. Like, man, do you really understand that he's really rooting for you? And me and my dad best friends now too. Like, he just went on my man, one of my guys went on the trip. My dad like, can we go? And my homeboy, before I could even ask my home like, hell yeah, Pop can go. Let's go. Like my dad's 72, he was with us 71. We 42, he's 71. And we were like, let's go. We going to New York together, hanging out.
that's what.
Like he one of the guys. And that's another thing, him being a band, I had to share my dad a lot too. Like he was a lot of dads. It was a lot of kids in the band that didn't have fathers. And he was a band director. He's still a band director. So even to this day, he's a dad to a lot of kids. He still take kids home for practice. He buy instruments for kids. He buy instruments for kids I know in Nashville.
Mm,
So he's a dad to a lot of kids. So that was another thing I had to watch him nurture, love, put time, energy, money, finances, and all of that stuff into siblings. They really weren't my siblings. They were just treated as such. You know what I'm saying? My mom, I have other brothers and sisters through my mom, but not my dad. I'm my dad's only child. So to watch him, you know, and I kind of see it has in me now. So my son is my son, but I also have a community of people that I look for, look after, and we look for, you know what I mean, and do stuff for, and like my dad, I have my son participate. And I think that's kind of that grew into the Ice Cube, into the Kanye, into my dad, and I look at all these influences until now. It all makes sense. Everything we didn't discuss on this podcast makes sense into why my character is the way it is. You know what I mean? To why I'm the person I am today. It brings it full circle.
Yeah.
Amen.
So, what would you guys say was the biggest surprise about being a dad that nobody told y'all?
This shit fun, man. You know, I didn't know it was gonna be that fun. Like I was looking at my dad and I think about all the hard work and all. Because it's a lot of hard work, especially a man raising boys. A man raising any child gonna be hard, but you looking at a reflection of yourself as a man, and you know what the world gonna give him. I'm not a woman. I don't know what the world deals women on a day-to-day basis. I don't know what it feels like to get hit on every time I go somewhere. I don't feel like to be disrespected, being grabbed on when I walk through the club. So I can't teach him how to be a woman. You know, I wouldn't have that empathy or that, you know, that experience of being a woman. But as a man, I can tell him how the police are go treat him. I can tell him how women might see him and treat him. But through all the seriousness, this shit is really, really fun. To see him become the man he is and to see him win and triumph and overcome adversity, to see him get shit right and fulfill his dreams and stuff and take him places and see him amazed at things. It's just so amazing. This shit being a dad is fun as hell, man. And I wasn't expecting it to be as fun as it is. This shit is fun.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better. It's a lot of fun.
It's fun, man.
Especially if you're a hustler. Like if you got something going on that you appreciate just as much, then yeah, I couldn't have said it any better. It's fun.
We just did Starlito and Don Tripp, the Step Brothers in Mobile, and to get to FaceTime my son doing sound check. Hey man, check him out. You know what I mean? He didn't met Starlito. They know each other. He knows Don Tripp, listen to all their music. So to FaceTime him and sound check and him have a relationship with some of these people and be like, damn, that's the first person I'm thinking about. I didn't think to FaceTime my dad. I didn't think to FaceTime some of my homeboys. I'm like, shit, let me call my boy. Let me call my son and show him what dad got going on. Let me show him how we finna rock tonight. What's going on tonight? And this shit is amazing.
I'll tell you another thing. The moments, like you mentioned, I was working out with my son. That's been lately my thing. Is obviously he's not lifting, but it's, you know, no tablet, just sit here and watch. And I'm trying to do my deadlift thing. I told him I put maybe about 200 some odd pounds on there, and I'm telling him, like, son, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this one. And so I'm getting down in position to try it, and he started slapping me across the face. Not hard, but I was just like, who told you to do that? And it's like, well, Dad, you gotta focus. And I'm just like, you know what? Right. And so I let him have it. I was like, all right, give me a few more. He just kept hitting me. And it'd be little moments like that you'd be like, wow, man, this is a lot of fun. It's like having a miniature version / assistant. Like,
yeah,
everywhere you go. I have him do everything I don't want to do. Like, man, laundry, sort them socks, throw this away, pick this up. And
oh man,
just seeing it, like seeing his frustration, seeing him pout around, and just seeing him grow, develop, get smarter. And man, he took the words right out of my mouth. I did not know it was gonna be this fun. It's hard, but it's fun.
It's hard, but it's fun. Hey, Mac, you took me to a point too. When you said do this and do that, I remember my dad,
yeah,
making me carry his trumpet outside the church. I might have been about 9 or 10 years old. I might have been about 11 years old. And he give me his horn. It like he was just understood I'm carrying his horn to the car. You know what I mean? I did it, but I
Mhm.
finally asked him, Daddy. And I remember this to this day.
Yeah.
Uh, he said, I said, Dad, why I gotta carry your horn for? Why I gotta carry it to the car? And guess what he said, Mac?
What do you say?
That's what I had you for. He said, that's what I had you for. And that stuck with me too. It's like, damn.
You're gonna earn your
And I
keep
get
around
it.
here,
Yeah.
bro.
And not literally, I didn't care. I didn't have you to be my roadie, literally. But
Mhm.
I had you like, you got to do something.
You have to do something.
You got to do something. And to
Those
this day, I make
struggle
my
ways
son.
of teaching them that. Like I tell Mason a lot of times, oh, you finna earn your keep around here.
For
Like
sure.
you're not about to just be chilling. That Dad, I'm hungry. I need to do something. Like, no, you have to do something. What have you done
Yeah.
for me lately? When you want toys and all that, what have you done for me?
Yeah.
That's what I asked. So
Okay, so y'all talked about how fatherhood is fun. We're gonna kind of bring it back to music just a little bit.
mhm.
What is one song that you would say got you through a tough season of fatherhood?
Mm. Big Crit got me through off of Better This Way album. Came out around COVID, and Mason was born in 2019. And so that was probably the scariest time of my life. And being a barber as my only source of income and having to rely on cutting hair in a garage with tarp being hung up as a protective barrier between COVID and my family, that didn't work. Yeah, that Big Crit is Better This Way album got me through, featuring Big Saint, because it's exactly what I had to do to see that one through.
And me, I don't personally have a song. And I looked at all the questions too. This is the only one I didn't have an answer for. But I did, I would say a genre. I listen to jazz. Like when it's time, like when I'm going through something, especially something with my son, I think about what me and my dad, his favorite genre, what he made me love. I fell in love with jazz through my dad listening to jazz around me. So when I want to like just internal, like think about some stuff and focus on what I need to do moving forward, or a tough time I had, or a situation with my son, or a situation with the fam. I like to listen to stuff that don't have words to it because I like to form my own thoughts. A lot of time we listen to the rap and we'll take on whatever they saying, or and that's good too in some cases, but in some cases it could be bad because I could be listening to a song could be fuck your family, go do, you know what I mean? Whatever it could be. And I like to formulate my own thoughts. So when I'm going through something, so jazz is definitely the genre I lean on. And if we can even go to an artist, I would say Clifford Brown. Uh, he was the legendary trumpet player that died when he was 22. He was a virtuoso.
Mm.
And just him, just knowing the story, him dying so young, it made me appreciate times with, you know what I mean, with my family, with my son. So I lean on jazz when I'm going through something. It just make me feel good. And make me think about being a son too.
Yeah. Um, I'm the type of person that if I'm going through stuff, I have to listen to stuff with no music, no lyrics to it as well, because for the reason that you said. I music to me is kind of like being around somebody and hearing their thoughts. So if I want to hear your thoughts, it's gonna be like, just shut the hell up. And so I have to listen
Right.
to something like I'll listen to Andre 3000 Flute album, and I know a lot of people didn't like it or had something to say about it, but I'm like, actually, if you just need to chill out and you don't want words, that's
Yeah.
a phenomenal album to listen to,
Right.
I
and
go to sleep to it. I love it.
yeah, go to sleep to it. I'm not like a jazz aficionado. I do like a Kamazai Washington and I know some Miles Davis and some Coltrane, but not strong enough. I wouldn't enter a music competition.
You're
The
right.
category was jazz. I'd be like, yeah, you don't want me on this round.
All right.
Um, if it was Jeopardy, the whole jazz column would be left open
Yeah,
untouched.
intact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I might would do the 100 and 200 where it's like this got to be a little softball question, but to get my money, I'm not touching the jazz category. But I do understand what you mean by like sometimes you just need nothing, like just some melody. Um, and the last question in this particular section, who's an artist that reflects the kind of father you are or the kind of father you want to be?
Nipsey.
Unpack that for the people.
I think before he got taken away, his mentality around being a family man, period, was something that resonated with me. And just making plays that will end up, benefiting the long run while you're here is important. And at least just being intentional about making those plays for the long run. Like, he set his people up for success, you know, and that's all you really can hope for is to give your kids a chance because you're not going to live to see it through entirely. At least, you would hope not. And you would hope by the time you are gone that they have a chance at doing greater than you. And you do that by the choices you make, the things you invest your time in, the connections you make. And I think that speaks to who I am right now. It's just trying to make plays for the long run, playing the long game.
Oh man, that's beautiful. That was a beautiful answer.
Appreciate it.
Damn, Matt, you got me thinking, boy. Now I would have to say, Ellis Marcellus. He's the father of Wynton Marcellus and Bradford Marcellus,
Mm.
and just to see how he was great in his own right, but to have, one thing I can say I wasn't prepared for being a father is all the resources you will exhaust for them to be great and for
Mm.
them to walk in their path. So for Ellis Marcellus to be a New Orleans great jazz musician and him to produce arguably the best trumpet player ever and Wynton Marcellus and one of the best composers, band leaders ever, and Bradford Marcellus, saxophone guys. That's amazing. You know what I mean? And both of those would be probably considered better than him, even though he's a legend in his own right. But it's like you said, you make your son and you want him to be better than you, richer than you, more successful than you. So to see him, Ellis Marcellus, put it into action with his children, put him around the best teachers, around the best instructors, in the best environments, make sure he got the gig with the best musicians, and to see the way his sons turned out, I give a lot of props to Ellis Marcellus and his structure.
Come through, Ellis. Now I will say I know Wynton Marcellus, so I feel accomplished that I
And
knew.
his brother Bradford too. That was the saxophone player on Jay Leno and his band.
Oh,
That's
see,
Bradford with the Marcellus band. That's him, the
I
saxophone guy.
okay. I would have not known. Like if that, see, that's why I wouldn't pick Jeopardy, the
Yeah,
board over there, because I would have got that wrong.
yeah.
But I am familiar with Wynton Marcellus. So we're gonna move into the parking lot pimping segment before we get into the liner notes and wrap up. So for those of you tuning in for the first time, the parking lot pimping segment is just simply to have fun. Back in my day, as the old folks say, we used to parking lot pimp, and the party would let out. And sometimes it would be the party. You would go inside the party and it'd be dead, and you would come back outside because it might be 50 people in the parking lot just chilling. But the important part of parking lot pimping is you got to stun on everybody else. So the question is, the year is whatever year you want it to be. What song are you playing in the parking lot to stunt? It could be new, it could be old, it could be
Hmm.
super
That's
old
easy.
school.
Oh, that's easy.
I'm 22 and inventing the game. Super cool, still a threat in the same. I'm
Hey,
bumping tip. I'm bumping tip. Any of the first three albums,
Mm.
put it on. It don't even matter what song. Put that tip on. He was over Wayne to me at that time. He was over Jesus to me at the time. He
Ooh.
was lyrical enough to be respected across the globe.
yeah,
So if you out west up north, they gonna respect Tip, but he was still dirty south and had the funk. You know what I mean? To kind of the music side, the production side that we required to have down south. So I'm putting that tip on. Any tip, any album, any tip. That's me. That's my era too of music.
I
Mm.
agree. I'm with Tip. I feel you on Tip. Go ahead, Mac. Who you got? What you coming with?
If I got a stun on you, I'm definitely cutting on Big Timers Get Your Roll On.
Oh,
Yeah.
Everybody get your roll on.
Whatever side of the parking lot I'm on is gonna be so that song will turn a funeral up. Like
Yeah.
I'm 99% sure it'll turn a funeral up. And that song, I picked a song back when I can remember parking lot pimping. Like I would say that one. And I think don't shoot the messenger, but Waka Flocka. Oh, let's do it.
Oh, let do it. Oh, let do it. I'm
That's
telling
it.
you
My only
shit.
main concern is high octane fun for the night. Like if I'm not on no chill lounge shit like I am now, then yeah, I'm trying to break the knob. I want everybody on my side of the lot.
yeah, yeah,
So
Oh
we,
yeah.
yeah,
Good choices. Both of those choices. Well, you picked. Yeah, you picked the first three. So you just playing the whole first three Tip albums.
yeah. I'm just
Matt
playing them.
gave me Big Timers and I forgot your second pick
Waka Flocka.
already. Waka Flocka. All of those are within my era, so I feel like those are perfect parking lot pimping songs. And as somebody who like to weave through parking lots, I probably would stop by both of y'all cars when y'all play something from them albums because those are my jams. So we gonna shift into the liner notes. Um, and my question for you on the liner notes: if your kids could only understand you through three songs, which ones would you choose?
Mm.
Ooh,
All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Dom Kennedy, Platinum Chanel.
Okay.
T.I. featuring Victoria Monet and Nipsey Hussle, About My Issue. And the third one, James Brown, Big Payback.
Okay. And just briefly summarize with those three songs, what is the nugget that you want them to take from that? Those three.
Platinum Chanel is whoever you think you are, show up as that person every day. And don't let the world tell you any different. So whoever you conjure up in your mind to be, that's who you are and that's who you're gonna be. Show up as him every day. And eventually, if you ain't already that person, you will become that person. About My Issue just speaks to taking care of your family and or business by any means necessary. My name's Malcolm. That's where I get my namesake from. So it's an alignment there. And James Brown, Big Payback. It being the most sampled song in history, that bass line, throughout the whole song, uh, I think that'll keep him where he needs to be as far as mellow. He can turn the words on and off to Big Payback and he'll be just fine. You can just listen. I just, something about the tempo of it because his birthday is 7 days after mine. So mine's on the 7th, his is on the 14th. We're quite similar in attitudes and how music can affect our attitudes and how we would like to approach certain things. So giving him those three to live with, that'll get him covered, or at least get him through.
Okay. And what about you, Otis?
man, that's the one I ain't prepared for out of all the questions. But I'm gonna say, 10 Jesus pieces. Rick Ross is that boy Styley got a verse on that,
Wow.
and he really just talking about balancing your grind with your shine, and you know what I mean, your hustle. I can't really paraphrase what he's saying, but I just know the verse, it just resonate with me. It's really about, if I had to summarize it, it's balancing your grind with your shine and not getting caught up in worldly stuff. That's basically what it's about. You know what I'm saying? The next one would be Lush Life. I forgot the artist. It's been performed a couple times. I forgot the original artist, but it's my dad's favorite song.
Mm.
And he made it one of my favorite songs because of the lyrics. It talks about it's reflecting a life of doing good and having fun and treating others how you want to be treated. That's
Mm.
what the song is about. So when my dad put me on it, it's really not like musically, it's a great song, but if you're not into, because it's vocal jazz, so you're not into vocal jazz and a lot of the singing, jazz, lyricists, then you might not like it. But I really like the overall message of it.
Mm.
And the next song would probably be, if I just had to take a stab at, it would probably be one of those songs off College Dropout. Uh, I don't know which one, because the whole project just resonates with me. The messaging of the whole project is kind of like the whole album is like one song to me,
Mm.
because it's a themed album. It's not like certain albums to where every song is they jumping all over the place. It's really telling a story. The broke, if I broke, skid, then you go into, it's a transition. So the whole album of that College Dropout, I reflect back on that and probably not just pull one song, but just the album itself, just listening to it overall and what it means, and not being too hard on yourself, not taking one form of education or one form of knowledge over the other, valuing success and what it looks like in different people and different lights. So yeah, those three would be the Lush Life, 10 Jesus pieces, that Style verse particularly, and that College Dropout album as a whole.
Man, eclectic.
Yes, the very eclectic. Um, and so that is our liner notes segment. Like I said, this is something to wrap up with, a little gem to leave us on. And I feel like that's a good note to leave us on. Some nice eclectic sounds as we wrap the show. Again, I want to thank y'all for y'all's time and just for the conversation. Y'all made this easy. I don't even feel like I had to do a whole lot of work. Like, y'all
Yep.
said fatherhood was fun, and I can tell just by the conversation and the way that y'all talk about y'all's kids and things like that. Um, so again, I appreciate y'all for taking time out, coming from band practice and having to come in and get on here and chat with me. So thank you to everybody who tuned in, whether you tuned in live or if you're listening the next day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This will be streaming at midnight on all podcast platforms. I'm so programmed for music. I always want to say all streaming music streaming platforms. But Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere that you like to see your podcast, that's where we'll be. Again, I have Otis Carter the fourth, aka O4, and Malcolm Carthledge, aka Mac. My personal shooter. I just want people to know that I let them borrow you when you work on other projects, but you my personal shooter. Again, this has been the fifth episode of the Five Disc Changer podcast. This episode is titled Daddy's Lessons. Yes, you got
I
some.
gotta leave. Yeah, I got something to say. I gotta give you your flowers because first of all, I'd like to say thank you for having me on. Thank you for having me on with a dynamic brother like Matt. Your perspective is so dope. I really like everything. As I'm telling you, I love what you're doing. I love the way you
Miss.
unpack things, not just this podcast. Your view on life is just so dope. And I disagree with you a lot too. You know that, because me and you get
Yeah.
on and we debate, but I
Yeah.
value your opinion. whether I agree with it, I value it because it's necessary. And I remember us on the post, and somebody said, "Girl, you are so necessary." And I remember co-signing that because you got to have women like you in this world that bring light, breathe life into people, hold people accountable, give you different perspectives, challenge thoughts and everything like that. So I
Amen.
just want people to know I value your opinion. I value your platform. I'm happy to be here today. And I hope you continue to grow and become, and get everything you trying to get in life, girl. I promise you deserve it.
Thank you. That means the
I
world
second that.
coming from y'all.
Second.
I'm gonna let you in on a secret, Otis. Sometimes on them posts, I might just be debating for the sake of debating. So we might be disagreeing about something that I don't even agree with.
Let's get the
Um,
people going. I love it.
I like it
uh,
though. I
I
like it.
like to think that I try to see things from different perspectives. So even if it's not my personal like truth, where it's like I agree with this, I try to see everything where it's like, okay, I see a 6, but you may see a 9. And so when people do challenge things,
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, okay, now that even just from this episode, I feel like people can say something about fathers, and it's like, all right, well, now I know how to push up against their perspective
Mm-hmm.
just from listening to you guys talk and letting us in your world as fathers. Because like I said, fatherhood is not a topic that, especially in the Black community, that we see in the forefront. And I want to be respectful of y'all time because there's a lot more that I could even unpack there, getting into Coach Prime and how Black fathers are
Mm.
not in the forefront. But
Come on now.
again, I just want to respect y'all time, and I keep y'all here all day. um so I wanted to put a spotlight on that. I just saw a statistic. It wasn't a true statistic, but the guy was trying to paint the narrative that only 20% of fathers are in Black household. And of course that is grossly misrepresented. And of course it was a MAGA person who said it. But just this, I saw that earlier today and I was like, okay, this episode is necessary because how do we challenge this without challenging it? So that's just a little secret. Sometimes I don't necessarily be agreeing with what I be saying, but it sharpens my debate
Yeah.
skills,
Yeah.
and it challenges people to, in my opinion, to think of things in
Yeah.
different ways. But um again, thank y'all. Thank you for giving me my flowers and pouring into me. I need those at time. But again, this has been another episode of Five Dish Changer Podcast. We're gonna play this outro music and I'm gonna wrap with y'all backstage. Once we get up out of here. If I go, here it is. Hey, no, dog.